Good morning. Monday the 30th of November, and we have came to the end of Men's Mental Health Month, and some of the conversations that we've had throughout the month around about men's mental health is, why does it need to just be November? Why does it just have to be a specific time? But the month is phenomenal for bringing and raising awareness to men's emotional and physical well-being and health. I've been doing it for the River Clyde every morning. I've been doing a wee 10-minute blog, just sharing my insights or sharing what I've found work for me. What works for me doesn't necessarily work for you, but my intention has been to encourage those to find regular patterns of activity and behaviour which promotes and enhances your well-being. One of the things that were in my head this morning, I don't know rightly whether this has got anything to do with men's mental health or not, but just catches you the cold sometimes. I was a wee bit slow in getting down this morning, and sometimes what we do in society is we look at the ailment as the problem. Morning, Trina. Sometimes what we do in our society is we look at the ailment as the problem. So where I stand, morning Alec, hope you're well. It's cold this morning, sir, definitely, but that's okay, we're in it because it makes us feel good. And anything at all, so peaceful down here this morning. It's really, really peaceful, and it's dark because that's the nights. The mornings are taking longer to open up as well. Anyway, now we look at the ailment. Yesterday I had a conversation with a friend about OCD, and OCD was this problematic issue that was in the family. Okay, now like alcoholism or drug addiction, when you're looking at it from the family's perspective, when you're looking at the ailment, you're seeing it as the problem. You're seeing the OCD, let's use that because that was yesterday. People look at the OCD as the problem. Now, what if we turned that in our head and OCD was not the problem, the OCD was presenting itself as a problem, the OCD, the drug addiction, the alcohol use. Oh, they've got a problem. Much. Okay, that's the symptom that we're looking at. We're looking at the symptom of alcohol or drug use or an ailment, even ADHD, in my opinion, right? So when you look at any kind of mental health problem or addiction or anything that we're looking at, we as the family or the members or the loved ones look at it and say, oh, this is a problem. What? Oh, signal went. Do it really quick. So the ailment, the alcoholism, the drug use, whatever it might be, we're looking at that as the problem. What if that's not the problem? What if we start to think that that's the solution? That's the manifestation of that is using to cure the itch. Okay, so rather than looking at OCD or ADHD or alcohol or hi Ross, it's Stevie, what with, yep, Pringles, hope you're well. Alright Stevie boy, yep, doing well, thank you. Right, so Men's Mental Health November's coming to an end, and this is the last day of Men's Mental Health. So what I wanted to share was, we've had some great discussions with some fantastic people. It's not connecting. There we go, got a wee bit of connection, so I'll be really, really fast. What I would encourage you to do if a family member or a loved one is in the clutches of addiction, depression, OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, ADHD, or anything like that, I would encourage you not to look at that as being the problem. It may be very difficult not to resign yourself to the fact that this is challenging, but what if this is the solution to an underlying challenge that the individual might have? That there's an itch, an unconscious itch, somewhere in one of the rooms of the mansions of the mind that's locked behind a door, okay, and it's scratching, and that annoyance and irritation causes the conscious mind to seek some kind of soothing behaviour, okay? And I believe that soothing behaviour can be anything from ADHD, obsessive compulsive disorder, addiction, even aggression. It's a way of trying to cope with what's going on unconsciously, okay? So throughout November, we've had some people speaking, and Hughes yesterday, and I gave myself a right hard time because I deleted the content of that video and I was trying to upload it to YouTube, and I had my granny again. My granny was stoning battering me with a stick because I was rushing. I was trying to do it in a hurry. I was trying to do it before I went out the door, and my granny used to always tell me to be patient. I think she knew I had ADHD as a Wayne, but they just let me be. I was a wee hyperactive kid. So she used to always tell me, less haste, count to 10. She used to always get me to sit and breathe and count to 10. Need to count to 100 now to kind of soothe my itch. But why do we leave it to November to talk about men's mental health? What I would really like to share, if we could take one thing away from these vlogs on a morning, is why don't we just bring this into our curriculum? Start to speak and be able to speak about mental. My best pal moved to Australia and he's phoning me this morning. He'd got a laugh if I'd have answered and I was in here. Not quite Melbourne, but thank you all for tuning in. I hope that something that I've said's made some sense to somebody. Somebody's been able to take something away with them. Nobody's perfect. We've learned that. We've all got issues that we do our best to work on. I was speaking to Connor this morning, and I possibly have slipped a disc and got real bad nerve pains in my back, and I was forced at the beginning of the week to take painkillers. I am very against taking painkillers, and I've not been able to exercise for a week effectively. This has been about the most that I've been able to do. And it drains on you, it tears on you, you know, it really does. When you're not out running, or, my exercise has diminished this week. So while we're waiting for it to be November, in Movember, with my great friend Mike Delaney, we spoke about it. Let's encourage each other to just look out for one another, check in with one another. And it's not just about men. We're all struggling right now. The times that we're in are very, very difficult, and I appreciate that. But we could start to be here for one another again, like the way it used to be in those old days, where folk used to just congregate around each other's houses and, drink tea and be there for one another. So thanks, and that was a great honour being part of Movember, and we've did some work for the charity this month. So have a great day, everybody. Have a fantastic Monday, and December is upon us tomorrow. So have a great one. All the best.